Good afternoon. This is Denard Stringer and Jacob Gorman introducing the RFI process for Auburn University's Building Science 4810 Fall 2015 semester.
The purpose of this presentation is 1. To teach you what an RFI is, 2. Explain to you the RFI process and all of its complexities, 3. Discuss the importance in the construction industry, especially for students entering the industry soon, and 4. We're going to recap our key points about what an RFI is, the process, and the importance of it.
So first off, what is a RFI? The term RFI stands for Request for Information. An RFI is used for a formal method of asking a question pertaining to construction drawings. And the RFI's process, its main purpose is to provide an orderly, reliable, and documented mechanism to field and resolve legitimate contractor questions.
So RFIs create a lot of content to make them more user-friendly and readable for the end user. These two lists are some of the main issues or main factors of an RFI, and some of the more important ones are all of the project information, including the project name, the RFI information, including the RFI number, title, initiation date, subject, disciplines affected, priority, who it is submitted by and who it is submitted to, along with the reference drawing and specification numbers. Construction manager and general contractors are also needed to sign off on these to ensure that they were reviewed. It needs to have a cost impact section, a schedule impact section, and a drawing and change order impact section. You also must include the request, who is requesting the information, and when a response is required by.
Next, we're going to talk about the three main reasons for RFIs. Number one would be substitution or construction modifications. This often occurs when contractors cannot produce a material or when a material is cheaper or a comparative alternative has been found. This often happens when you have flooring alternates, maybe electrical fixtures that are alternate options that you have for the project. Number two, clarification or additional information. This occurs when subcontractors or the prime contractor find unclear direction on how to execute the drawings or detail. And number three, construction efficiency. This occurs when a subcontractor deviates from the plans or informs the architect and owner.
So next we're going to move into the RFI process. Here is a flowchart that demonstrates all the necessary steps that an RFI must go through before eventually being returned and answered to the subcontractor. We start at the top in the orange box where it reads, RFI is reviewed by subcontractor and sent to the main contractor. This is the origin of the question. Once it is sent to the main contractor, it can A, be reviewed and edited and sent back to the subcontractor if the answer is known by the main contractor. If more information is required, it can be forwarded to the project architect, who will then review and edit as required before either A, sending it back to the main contractor, or if more information is required, sending it forward to fellow consultants who will then review and edit given their expertise. Once the consultants finish, they send it back to the project architect, who then sends it back to be checked by the main contractor, which is at this point where the RFI is posted in the working drawings, and then it is sent back to all the subcontractors affected by the main contractor.
Now, once that process has been completed, you probably think that you're done. That's not necessarily the case. Next, you have to begin posting the RFI. Once the RFI has completed its cycle, the contractor will post the RFI in the current set of drawings. Once the RFI has returned, the general contractor must check to ensure that it has reached all affected subcontractors. A situation where this might happen is if you have an electrical box moved in the wall. You may think it just affects the electrician. You're wrong. It affects the drywaller and your framing subcontractor also, as far as where it's being moved, the new hole that's being put in the wall, the location area. RFI requires printing out the RFI and pasting it to the page that it pertains to. This is actually an old form of updating drawings that we have mentioned here. In the old practice, you would get the RFI back, print it off, and you would cloud the drawings on the hard set of drawings that you have on the job site trailer. What you do with the RFI that you print out, you would post that on the adjacent page and cloud that area so that you know to reference that RFI when you're looking at the detail or that area on the drawings. New innovative techniques such as Bluebeam, Plan Grid 60, all construction software such as that allows you to hyperlink the RFIs. So you can just cloud on the drawings, and when you're looking at a digital version on the field or on your iPad, you can click on that hyperlink and it'll take you straight to the RFI so you have access to it at all times.
So this moves us into our segment as why are RFIs important for the general contractor and subcontracting parties. To start off, it is a very efficient way to circulate a question to multiple parties in a manner. As previously mentioned, an RFI can affect multiple disciplines, and it's a general contractor's responsibility to make sure that all affected disciplines will receive notice of the RFI and what could possibly be changing. Number 2, RFIs can be used in litigation as evidence if managed properly. This goes back to having a structured, efficient RFI process to make sure that they are accurate and posted properly. And if this is done correctly, it can be used in legal activities to prove whatever may be necessary. Number 3, RFI allows for questions to be reviewed in accordance with their urgency. One of the main features of an RFI is to be able to correlate a sense of urgency with it on a scale of either 1 to 5 or not urgent to very urgent. This is great because it allows for critical items to be reviewed first and less critical items to be by the architect and or consultants. Number 4, it saves time and money. The old way of doing RFIs was not nearly as efficient as it is now with the various software programs being used. These new programs allow it to be an efficient, fast method, which ultimately saves both the subcontractors, the general contractor, and the architect time on reviewing and getting these recirculated around. This time being saved correlates directly to money being saved as well.
And now we're going to give a brief recap of what we went over today. The RFI's process main purpose is to provide an orderly, reliable, and documented mechanism to field and resolve legitimate contractor questions. There are 3 main reasons for RFIs. Number 1, RFIs for substitution or construction modifications. RFIs provide clarification or additional information, and it alerts the owner or architect of construction deficiency. RFIs also circulates amongst all necessary parties to provide a well-reviewed, holistic answer. And the final goal is ultimately saves both time and money.
We hope this presentation was informative to you today and that you learned a little bit about the RFI process, what it is used for, and how it can save the general contractor, subcontractor, and or architect money and time. We want to thank you for listening and hope you have a great day.
War Eagle.